What's going? Wait, we're live, right?
Oh,
what's going on, everybody?
it's only been 28
What's
episodes
going
of the
on?
second season.
Of the second season. What's going on, everybody? Chase on Two Wheels here with my buddy Bo for Live on Two Wheels, episode 28 of season 2.
Just down like a few notches.
You can't.
You went. Now
can't
this isn't a game show.
unvolume me.
This is not a game show.
So the people love it. You guys let Bo know in the chat that you love the energy levels that I come into this with. We haven't even got to the fun part of the show. Anyway, now that my volume is back, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the weekly motorcycle live show here on the Chase on Two Wheels channel / the Live on Two Wheels YouTube channel. If you guys are watching over on the Chase on Two Wheels channel, I got a pinned comment from my buddy Ghost. Come watch this on the Live on Two Wheels channel. That's where I can see your comments. Thank you. Love you long time. All right, guys, like we did last week, I am back from my double freaking press launch. Last week we talked about the MT10 and the brand newness and the funness. This week we're talking about the DesertX, and boy, it's great, and I love it, and I want it so bad, and we're gonna talk about why I want it in today's episode of Chase really shouldn't have gone to an off-road press launch, but he did anyway because he's too stupid to not, and he got too excited, and it's gonna be a great time. Bo, are you excited to hear about all of my trials and tribulations and hear me discuss why I need this motorcycle?
I mean, I kind of already know. I'm the one that edited the video.
Well, that's a fair point.
I also just being real. I literally, as you were talking, I got so lightheaded.
You got lightheaded?
Yeah.
Why'd you get lightheaded?
I don't know. Maybe I need a snack or something.
You ate lunch?
I know.
Huh.
I just got real lightheaded and kind of zoned out for a minute.
Wow, this episode's going to be far more interesting than I thought it was.
I know all the words you said, but they didn't register until well after you had said them.
I'm even more excited to see whatever the hell happens to yeah. So guys, if you are new here, this is Live on Two Wheels. It's our weekly live show that we talk about motorcycle stuff, whatever the hell we want to talk about. It gets us away from the daily YouTube, we got to make sure every minute counts. This is our time to have conversations and be chill. We don't have to be crazy, sometimes. So
he proceeds to be the craziest he's ever been.
I was about to say, I probably shouldn't have said that based on the intro. But yeah, guys, we do this every week, 4:30 to 6 Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to check. Say what? I did. Okay. I forgot when we did it. But if you can't make it live, we have other options for you guys. If you want to just watch the video after the fact, maybe you're working during the time we're live, we post these videos over on the Live on Two Wheels YouTube channel. Just search YouTube for Live on Two Wheels. You will find the archive of all the Live on Two Wheels episodes. And if you're not able to watch, maybe you just want to listen. This is also available in podcast platform over on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast. So there's options. All right. That's the intro. That's what we're talking about today. But now we got our front stuff to talk about, because you guys know we started the episode.
We like to talk about our front stuff first.
Ugh. That's how I feel about what you just said. Ugh. All right. So, one thing we like to integrate you guys in with the show is our Discord server. So, one of the things I like to show you guys that we kind of promote for Live on Two Wheels is the last 5 or 10 minutes, we have a little section of our Discord server. I'm going to show you guys where to go to in a minute. But that's a space for you guys to just hang out with other motorcycles, people that are...
You just hang out with motorcycles?
Shit. You guys will understand why I'm dead in a minute, why my brain is dead. It's been a busy week. But we have our Discord server. It's full of people, because there's people that ride motorcycles, and then there's people that enjoy
motorcycles.
Well, there's motorcycles, but then there's people that enjoy motorcycle content online. Yeah. And I don't feel like the motorcycle people online are always apt to share their interests with regular motorcyclists.
The Venn diagram is a very narrow crossover.
But we have our Discord in order for you guys to hang out with other like-minded motorcyclists. So
Or motorcycles.
Or motorcycles, apparently. I don't know where those are located. But anyway, if you guys go into our Discord server, if you go here, are you on my screen? You are? Okay, cool. You could have told me, but yeah. So if you go to the Live on Two Wheels section and you guys click up here to the right, you'll see threads, and you can go to Season 2, Episode 28. And if you go into there, in the last 5 or 10 minutes of the show, we are going to spend looking through here. Typically, we just like looking through here. So you guys want to post like, what?
That's just the way. Typically, we like being here.
We do. Like, our Discord people are legit. Yeah, and there's SmartCon that we're going to talk about. But yeah, guys, post photos, post funny shit that we can laugh about. And that's how we'll spend the last 5-10 minutes of the show. Yay. All right. Now, we have a Moto shout out because we have a page on our Discord called Moto Photos. That's where you guys can post your photos. And it's my
your motos.
That's where the motorcycles are. We found them. But yeah, that's where you guys can post photos. This week's Moto photo shout out. Oh, Randrew.
Make it big one.
Oh snap! If you guys don't know, Randrew, our CEO of Smart Industries here, is that his Super Hawk? I didn't know he had.
Yep. Also, look at the drink.
I know he got. We need this company to sponsor us so I can pay Ghost. This is what we need.
I'm trying to cut back on the energy drinks, y'all. This is my first one in like 3 days. Yeah.
That's impressive.
That might be why I've been dying slowly.
Probably. So shout out to Randrew with his Super Hawk and his little can of Ghost, which
That's a sentence.
I think that's hilarious.
Old can of Ghost.
Old can of Ghost. That'd be a very interesting reality show. All right, guys, that's our Moto Photo shout out of the week. Thank all of you guys for posting your cool photos. We really appreciate it.
Of your motos.
Shut the fuck up. Oh, hold on. We have a ghostly review. Okay, so hold on. You have to play my music. Ghostly review. I love this show. Smort is my favorite, 5 stars. Maya Batrix? Your number 2 fan? Wait, what is that? Ghost, did you write that? Or is that an actual person? Wait, hold on. Are you trying to mess with me?
I'll just go home now. I want you to read that name again.
Maya. Oh, butt reeks.
Your number. Oh my God!
Like your number 2.
It feels like it's wasted on him, Ghost.
This is a good point. I almost choked earlier when we were on here. I didn't know this until moments before the show went live. Ghost now has a soundboard. Ghost, could you let people know your give them an example of your soundboard? So, guys, I didn't know that. We were talking earlier before the show, and I'm literally drinking Coke, and I almost spit over everything on my desk.
It's weird that you hesitated there because it sounds like you're lying about what you were drinking.
It was Coke Zero, but like I didn't.
You were like,
I was
Coke
Zero,
drinking
whatever Coke calls their zero shit.
Coke.
Anyway, it's hilarious. I can hear it. Hopefully, I assume you guys can hear it too. It's hilarious. Here's the thing though. The reason it got me so bad is because from where I'm sitting, I can see Bo's soundboard. So if he's going to hit something on there, at least I know it's coming. But with Ghost, I have no damn clue. So it just like comes out of freaking nowhere, and it's pretty good. Okay, now I've been waiting all week for this next thing. What?
Oh yeah,
Ghost tip of the week. What is that?
We did the Ghost thing, the review Ghostly, and then my brain.
I get that. All right, guys. Ghost tip of the week. This is sponsored by Ghost on Two Wheels over on Instagram. Ghost tip of the week. Don't get in a fight with a bunch of mimes. They will do unspeakable things to you. I didn't understand halfway through.
I know.
And then I was working it out.
I saw that happen in real time.
Yay! way!
I saw that happen in real
okay,
time. Oh
so
my
it's
God.
don't get in a fight with a bunch of mimes. They will do unspeakable things to you. I love that. I don't know where Ghost gets all of his ghost tips of the week, but I think they're pretty great. He actually posts these over on Instagram. Make sure to go follow Ghost on Two Wheels. Oh, God, that was good. Man. Okay, it's not time for housekeeping yet, but put the cleaning supplies away. It is now time for quick shift. Oh my God, if you play that button one more time.
Right,
Okay, guys, quick shifter of the week. This is our quick little video.
Oh my God.
What?
I need you to, when you're about to start, don't then go into a preamble. Because I go to your screen and it's just all of our notes.
Sorry. So, if you guys are new, quick shifter is our little video that Ghost puts together. It's just for the topical. Stop! It's just for the topical things of the motorcycle industry, and that way we know what's happening. And if we want to talk about more stuff on that, like in depth into one of the topics, we know to do that. If you guys want to see any more information about this stuff, let us know. But it makes me stop talking, and we just play it. Okay, quick shifter, let's go. No more preamble, Bo.
Yeah, no, I got it. I figured it out when you stopped talking.
Ever see a Hayabusa engine in a Toyota Corolla? Well, this guy in Japan just did it. Sounds like a WBRG challenge. He put a... Oh, God.
Okay.
We ain't even talking about a new Toyota Corolla. We're talking about like an older Toyota Corolla. Also, I'm kind of surprised that a Hayabusa engine isn't bigger than that. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the car motorcycle size difference.
Well, it's a large motorcycle and a small car, so
True. So maybe that's the reason. That's interesting.
my favorite is the guy that put the Turbo Busa engine on a go-kart.
Huh. That sounds terrifying. Your turn, Bo.
The Honda Fireblade celebrates its 30th anniversary, and a couple of British riders take the old and the new out for a spin. Oh, look at that!
Oh, that's got to be such a cool video. I hope that's a video. Is that a video? Can we see that?
I don't know.
I would love to see that. That's a great photo, though. 30 years of the Fireblade. Jiminy Christmas.
That's a lot.
That is a ton.
Yeah, I dig the older style too.
I was about to say, dude, the new one's cool and all, but the old one, like it. I mean, it gives
It's a
me some
vibe.
Ducati DesertX vibe. That's what it gives me. Which is, anyway. Next up, Kawasaki provides a sneak peek of the new color scheme for the 2023 Z900 RS.
Is it green?
If it's green, I swear to God.
Oh,
Wait, that's
black and gold.
That's it. That was underwhelming. That was 100% underwhelming. I mean, it looks cool. Don't get me wrong, but, do you think that's sneak peek worthy though?
I mean,
I do appreciate that helmet matches the motorcycle. Props to them for doing that. But yeah, I don't know if this is. You guys, maybe I'm off, but is that sneak peek? Do we care? Do we care that much? I don't know.
I care infinitely less now that it's gone. BMW Motorhead does a study on fuel efficiency between cars and motorcycles, doing comparisons in 3 categories.
Huh.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, funny that the bikes get so much. Man, the NC750S, the Honda gets 67 miles to the gallon.
Okay, the BMW 1250 GS gets 52?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Mine averages about 48.
Guys, shocker. Bikes get better gas mileage than cars. Who'd have thought?
I'm glad they're doing this research.
Wow, thank you, BMW, for investing that time and energy. My God. We are only halfway through, baby. Let's go. Oh, my goodness, with the... uh-oh.
A special announcement from the CEO of Smort Industries, Randrew.
Oh, no.
Hello, hello. This is Randrew here from SmortCon, right? SmortCon is this weekend. It came up faster than we probably all thought. I'm sure we're all ready with our bikes, our luggage, and ready to take on to get to Nashville. super excited to see you all. I'm super excited this actually turned into something. As we know, all who aren't coming, unfortunately, won't get to see all the excitement at SmortCon. We've got a wonderful Airbnb put on by our producer, Ghost. Everyone in the Discord has pitched in and done stuff, and that's honestly the only reason that this is actually going on. So I just wanted to say thank you so much. We're going to have a great time, and I look forward to meeting every single one of you that I've been talking to for the past couple of months or even longer on the Discord.
Nice.
So I want to say thank you very much for making this a thing, and I look forward to you all.
This. Oh, this is amazing. I love that. I love that a community inside of a community
Bro.
is doing something.
It's been really awesome to watch this thing kind of come to life.
Ghost, I love your little microphone person. It's so great.
You're never in the Discord for the group call because of the way our audio is hooked up.
Uh-huh.
But every once in a while, he'll do a webcam, and it's that screen. And when he talks, it moves its mouth, and it's fucking hilarious.
I don't know how all that is set up, but I am immensely jealous. So yeah, guys, we've been talking about it. SmortCon's an actual thing. Bo has not stopped talking about it since it became a thing, and it is very cool to see that becoming a thing. I am jealous that I am not able to go. I have told Bo to create content while he is there so I can enjoy it selfishly, and I will be wishing I was there while I'm shooting a wedding this weekend.
Yeah.
So hopefully you guys have a phenomenal time.
It will be. It'll be a good time.
I know you've been talking about
consistently
like how bad you need to do a meetup.
I need a time where I can just like enjoy being around people where I'm not like it's not work,
Right.
And just kind of like chill. But also just because like we've always said, I'm really into the whole community side of thing, and the Discord and the Live on Two Wheels crew are just pretty fucking dope, and it is just the way this naturally came about, and just kind of it was born out of that whole community that we're kind of lucky enough to have on our side. Pretty cool vibe. Also, fucking we need to do a Georgia Moto meetup, and this is me getting my fix before we can do that. So
circa next year, hopefully everything works out and we're able to do that.
Please.
I would love to do that.
God, please.
It's been what, 3 years? Something like that?
It's 2019.
Yeah,
summer of 2019.
Been a minute. Okay, now Bo, you can play your housekeeping. Yeah.
No, thank you. Sleeping. Housekeeping? You come back in an hour.
Housekeeping, you want towels?
More towels. Need sleepy.
Housekeeping, you want mint for pillow?
Please go away. Let me sleep for the love of God.
Every now and then we need to let that play out the whole way.
I was feeling it then.
To be reminded, for the love of God.
Yep.
You do. That's the only reason. So guys, housekeeping is us updating you guys with what's going on around the shop. My God, it is not slowed down. I wanted it to slow down, and I think we're on the precipice. I think we are. We got what's the big stuff? Oh, Tuesday we officially to the channel released our WBR Garage website that we've been working on for months.
Yep.
I think we've probably told you guys.
Yeah.
Definitely, but like as far as like letting the channel know. So if you guys have not checked it out, WBRgarage.com. If one of the beautiful mods could post a link to that. We have worked so hard on that website. We have paid so much money for that website.
Yeah.
But it's awesome, and it's made for people that enjoy our motorcycle builds. So if you guys are into the WBR Garage stuff, go check it out. I think it's pretty awesome. I think it's a awesome purpose-built website for people that enjoy that show. So
And
it's the
right
first
now,
time.
and right now, if you sign up there, You get double entries.
You do, which is really cool. Instead of all stupid Patreon that nobody likes, definitely don't go sign up on Patreon.
More money goes back into the builds there too, so it's good.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we put that video out on Tuesday, kind of getting everybody updated with like what that motorcycle. If you guys can't see, I'm pointing behind me. This CBR 600. We have not touched it in over a year. Well, we hadn't touched it in over a year.
Yeah.
So we did like a little video, like keeping people up to date. It was like, hey, you're gonna start seeing this kind of content, so be ready. It's gonna be awesome. Because like when you don't make content, if you don't make content for a week, people forget shit. So I can't imagine somebody that's been following the channel for over a year.
That was episode 11. Currently in the chamber, we are going to be filming episode 19
next week. Yeah,
next week.
Yeah, so we are 8 episodes filmed, ready to go. They just got to be edited. So we're obviously the bike behind me. We get to that point in 8 episodes. So that came out on Tuesday. Today we put out the DesertX press launch. If you guys haven't seen that, awesome job Bo did cutting down 4.5 hours of content.
5.5 hours.
5.5 hours of content down to a digestible 26 minutes of whatever you call it.
Heavy breathing.
Heavy breathing. Yeah, so that video came out today, so we figured we'd do the live on Ontwowheels show talking about I mean, as we said, like I recorded basically the entire day, and we had to make that into a 26-minute video. So you guys know this. We do this with other press launch stuff. We can only put so much into video. So we like having live on Ontwowheels to kind of like talk more about it. If you guys have questions about the motorcycle or my experience on it, because we've done a few live on Ontwowheels episodes about the DesertX. You guys know it's one of my favorite ADV bikes out right now. But everything was like, it was like hypothetical, right? I had never ridden it. I was saying everything I was saying based on information I had read. So it's an entirely different situation when you've actually, spent an entire day riding it. So I feel like I'm able to talk way more directly about the motorcycle and my experience on it. So that's why we're doing this episode today.
That came out today. Tomorrow we got a first ride coming out.
We got a first ride coming out next week,
yes,
of course. Well, we got a first ride coming out tomorrow of the CF Moto 700 CLX Sport.
Yep.
We haven't posted anything about it, but we got one in the shop. Was that this week? Or no, it was last week. We got it in.
Yeah.
And then we filmed it this week. Guys, we are, as of today, officially ahead by 1 week on first rides. It has been a huge goal we've been trying to go for, and it almost didn't happen.
Yeah.
But we got there, and this is one more step for me and Bo to get to a point where we're not pulling our hair out every single week.
It's been stressful. The last year has really been.
That's generous of you to only say.
Well,
I'm
saying the last year, it's like everything. Like we're a small team, even by like normal standards,
right,
for the kind of content that we put out, and all of us are pushed right up against the wall to deadlines and have been for like a year and a half.
Right.
Like it'll be real nice with the future of Wrecked Bike Rebuild and first rides and all the other stuff that we'll be able to get to a point where we can be like, hey, this video is done. Cool. It comes out in a week and a half.
Yeah, bro. Whoa. Calm it down, Bo. Calm it down. Talking about a week and a half out. I'm over here dreaming about a week out.
I feel like I've got just a nest of ulcers at the top of my stomach.
Right.
I'm just a ball of stress.
You guys wouldn't think
which is one of the reasons I'm very excited about SMORTCon, which is happening.
I'm happy for that too. But you guys would think, like, naturally you think, well, we make YouTube videos, so it's not that big of a deal. But we do hold ourselves to a pretty high standard, and it's like a lot of the times we don't have to have a deadline made. But if you don't make a deadline and you're a creative person, you get stuff stretched out really far. Yeah. So we end up like taking the deadlines really seriously. But yeah,
well,
we
it's
are
like
close.
With the CF Moto, like we. I mean, first off, you guys need to watch the ad that's in there because it's hilarious.
I think okay. Personally, The ad that's in tomorrow's video is my favorite ad that we've done yet. It cracks me up every time I watch it, and I actually, it's the first ad that I enjoy watching, honestly.
But like that kind of stuff, like even that small little ad, that takes a bit.
It took a total day, right? Between the writing, the filming of it, the editing.
Literally like a minute and change.
Yeah.
So like extrapolate that, to a first ride, which is the easiest thing that we edit.
Shockingly.
Yeah. Just because we have it so locked into what needs to happen, like pulling back the curtain a little bit, we compartmentalize each section of the road so we know where to hit our beats, and that makes editing it a lot easier. So that's like the least of my worries. But like Wreck Bike Rebuild, I've got 4.5 hours of footage to sift through to make a 10 to 20 minute video, depending on what's being done. And
it's a massive undertaking.
And it happened a year and a half ago. So I am so far removed from it. And then the press launches, you film your press launches in a different way.
I sure do. And I love doing it too.
And it is one of those improvements that you and I have talked about, and ways to make that work better. But I think those are the big ones. Those are the ones that take the most time as press launch videos, honestly, because they're unknowns. Like no matter what we do, they're unknowns. When you get back from the MT10 launch, you're like,
right.
Like, I think I said all of this. It's in there somewhere.
Yeah, I give you a pile, and you're like, hey, find the needles in there.
And with the DesertX, I think it was such a novel event that you were very much more aware of what was happening in it.
Yeah.
So it was a lot easier. But we're getting to the point where, like, eventually I'd like just an extra notch on my belt, so that I can, like, Thanksgiving
I would like
dinner.
to take a few notches out of my belt.
It's just
if you guys can't tell, the stress has caused physical effects over the last couple of years. But I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Very excited with where I see us being in 2 months. It's
Jamil is asking, how are the press rides filmed differently? It's pretty much camera on, and then run camera whole time.
Yeah, well, so this
which is different than what
we're gonna treat this as we're gonna leave housekeeping, and we're gonna go into DesertX, because I think it is probably, for you guys that watch the press launches, I would love to walk you guys through what a press launch looks like, at least what the DesertX looked like.
Yeah.
Because like Bo was saying, we're leaving housekeeping. We're now going to go into the DesertX stuff, and we'll talk about a DesertX press launch, because I know a lot of you guys, probably none of you guys have been to a press launch. But the way it is these companies will normally fly you out day one. It's just a travel day. You get there, you have dinner with all the media and journalists that are going to be there with you and riding in your group.
Bike presentation.
Sometimes it's a bike presentation.
On the dinner day, yeah.
Typically, like Yamaha, for example, they will do their presentations the night before.
Yeah, all of mine have been that way.
Okay, so Ducati does theirs the morning of.
Okay.
So there's the travel day, sometimes presentation. Then you have your ride day that's, you start at 7:30 in the morning.
You ride to the media locations.
So you get up, have breakfast. You have a presentation. We're going to talk about the DesertX specifically. You get up, you have your media presentation, and that's Ducati's big thing. You have all the different guys come up, and you have a guy talking about why they engineered it this way, and you have the designers. You have everybody that specializes in their category. They come up, they do their little talk to you guys about this is why this is that, this is how this, and this is what it can do, and all this kind of stuff. So at that point, you literally go outside of the hotel. All the bikes are lined up. Each bike will have a tech with it, so they can walk you through how to change the bike if you want to change a certain rider mode or change your suspension or something like that.
Yeah.
And at that point, you're gone. And all of this stuff is happening in a extremely short period of time. You don't have a lot of time with anything.
Their goal is to clarify what you're saying, so that people, all of this is the steps necessary to get to the places where they have routed out to do media shoots. That's it. So their timeline is...
Boy, it's tight. It's so tight.
So it's you get done, you get on the bike, it's off to the races, you go to the first media spot,
right.
And then it's do runs.
Yeah, so you leave the hotel. Hopefully, you're fast with your equipment because if you want to film anything, you gotta be like this. Yeah. Which is probably one of the reasons that when we go to press launches, when I go to a press launch, I've been doing this long enough, and I know my equipment to the point where, because I'm using it every day, where I'm able to, and it for me, I'm just barely able to get out of a press launch and have everything filmed. Like, that's how fast everything is. From somebody that's been doing something for 10 years, I'm still, like,
it must be pretty easy when all you do is turn your camera on and leave it running for 5.5 hours.
If only that was true. You have no idea what the ridiculousness it is to make sure everything, because I have the only setup where I have an audio pack in the back and then I have a GoPro in the front. So it adds a little complexity.
That's got to change, too.
Hopefully. The first run, you're leaving the hotel. And the whole point of these manufacturers is they want you as a journalist to get as much time on the motorcycles as possible. And they also have deadlines for time when you need to get to these press runs, which is where they have they have photography guys, they have video guys, sometimes they have drone guys. And it's basically you get to that first spot. There's a little section of road, and you guys go up and down it, one at a time. They get all that. That's how we have photos and videos. You should tell people,
since we're kind of piggybacking it all, where you were for the launch.
Oh, bro.
Specifically, where you were in the elevation you started at.
Yeah, so that was a really big deal with the DesertX. For the location they chose, which was pinpoint perfect, was Aspen, Colorado. More specifically, it was Snowmass, Colorado, which is a town right outside of Aspen. So the starting elevation for the hotel was 8,000 feet above sea level.
Which is about the highest point in Georgia.
So it's not. It's twice. The highest point in Georgia is 4,000. Heather looked it up because...
I thought that Brasstown Bald
It is 4,000.
4,000?
Absolutely.
Go fuck yourself.
So here's the thing.
God, we're such a flat state.
So I know. I didn't realize that until this whole Aspen thing. So just to give you guys a little background, you guys have seen my wife on a couple episodes.
West? Can we move headquarters west?
I know, right? So... you guys have seen my wife a few times on videos. When she heard that I was going to Aspen, Colorado, it was like, oh, wow, that's amazing. Right, we had that initial thing. But when I was younger, I had asthma really bad. I could not go outside for long periods of time. I certainly could not do strenuous exercise because I had exercise-induced asthma. So the second I started running, my asthma would kick up and I'd be inhaler
I've
boy.
said this before. You and I, if this was the 17th century, you and I
we would not
died
last.
at toddlers.
Yeah, so I have really
I have
bad
allergy-induced asthma.
Well, so I have really bad allergies, but then I have, at least I used to, because I can run now and all that kind of stuff. So I think I've outgrown it. But once you've lived through asthma, you always have the PTSD in the back of your head. So one of the things with elevation, if you guys are in us in a flat state, when you go high elevation, the higher you go, the less oxygen there is to breathe. Yeah. So basically what happens is you get headaches, you get more strained faster because you're not taking in as much oxygen.
You're not getting enough blood in your oxygen.
And it's called altitude sickness.
Do you know what, real quick, the highest elevation you reached on that trip was? Was it
11,900?
11,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when Heather found out I was in Aspen, she was
the highest you've ever been without a plane.
100%. So when Heather found out that I was going there, she was like, that place is pretty high. Let me look into it. She starts looking into it. Bro, by the time I was headed out to Aspen, I knew what I needed to do. I knew how I needed to survive. Nice. I will live longer.
You were doing pretty good.
I will live longer.
You were breathing heavy, but
wife.
A lot of that might have had the riding. But
well, so this is the crazy combination of things. So the highest we have in Georgia is 4,000, right? And that's a specific place. The mountains that we go to is, and I looked it up, 2,500 to 3,000 feet above sea level. So, because I told Heather, I was like, babe, you don't got to worry about me. I go to the mountains all the time. And she looks up Snowmass and it being 8,000. And I'm like, I'm sure Blood Mountain or Richard B. Russell is almost that high. I looked it up and it was 2,500. I was like, oh, shit. Okay, never mind. I have no experience in this. So here's the crazy thing. I've got all this altitude shit to worry with, right? I'm not going to have as much energy. I'm not going to be able to breathe as easily. And I'm going to be doing an activity
that requires a lot of breathing.
That requires a lot of breathing, and that I've only done for 3 days. You guys have seen some of the Adventure Bros videos. We've got one video out right now, but that's the only, and I'm not exaggerating, that is the only experience I have riding off-road. When I went to this DesertX launch, Ducati, as they should have, invited everybody that does off-road stuff. These people know how to ride a motorcycle off-road.
You weren't the only
leading.
one. A TFL bike is not very experienced in that too. At least
they got to be way more experienced than 3 days of experience.
I mean, it's possible. But
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, even if there's low level, there's medium and high, and I'm not even at low level yet.
Yeah, Case is self-admittedly. Old handsome Jack. He's self-admittedly not a dirt or ADV guy at all.
Right. Well, so yeah, I was following with him a lot of the time, but
I saw you in his video. I saw the little bright yellow backpack.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yay, Kriega. So I'm in this situation where I'm physically less capable. I don't know how to do what I need to do to the level that I need to do it, and I have to go up some of the most ridiculous roads. I could not have fathomed. I thought I was like in the Alps a couple times. Like, how much higher can it go?
It was a very technical looking ride for some of the like rockier stuff.
The earlier part of the day wasn't that
it was
bad.
pretty chill.
Yeah, but like the second half of the day. Oh my!
I will say this. Hey, after watching through the footage in the final product that I created, you did really well. You did really well.
That.
And like even here's the thing. Like, you know, I tend to beat myself up about it, and I keep forgetting my own words. But like, dropping shit on dirt is just part of being on dirt. And so like, I've seen people who've been riding for 35 plus years eat shit. I've seen a guy who's been riding for 40 years drop his bike 3 times in a row standing still. So like, it fucking happens. And
well, I think that's one of the things, you know, we've talked about a lot.
But my point is this: you killed it.
Thank you.
You were riding the fuck out of that thing, and you got a bunch of air.
I got more air than I realized when I was watching the press photos and the videos.
Bro.
But when I got back, it was hilarious.
You attacked that with 110%. So kudos to you.
Well, so I realized very early on that if you're timid with off-road stuff and you back off,
yes,
it's going to be so much harder on you, because that happened a couple times. I don't know if it was filmed or not, but there was a couple hills early in the day.
Momentum is your friend,
bro. Yes, it fucking is.
Yeah.
So I realized early in the day, because there was a couple times, I mean, like, you're looking at some of these hills, and obviously I know this bike is incredibly capable.
Yeah.
I see everybody else, because I was kind of towards the back of the pack. So I'm seeing everybody else.
You were with the slow guys for once.
Bro, I was the slow guy. Yeah, I know it now. But I'm watching all these people, and I'm like, okay, cool. I know the bike is capable, and I know that in general, right? Like, I'm going to be the limiting factor on this motorcycle.
Yeah.
And I'm watching these people go up these things, and there's a couple of them in the beginning where I was like, ooh, I don't know if I feel super comfortable, but I just went up it anyway, and I realized the slower I attacked it from the get-go, I had such a harder time getting up it. So like, I got to the point of like,
you just have to build momentum and carry that through. You did really good. My favorite part was there was one section when you were on the crest of that. It was that that twin track at the top of the crest of the mountain.
Yes,
like that. I was just like, God damn. I don't know how well I would do. I suffer from short person syndrome, so I tend to drop. I've dropped to the Pan Am now like 4 times,
right?
And it has never been while moving.
Yep,
it is every single one of them has been while stopped and having to put my leg down just because I'm a short guy, and so.
That finally happened to me, by the way, with the DesertX. Yeah,
the exact same thing happened to you that happened to me. Here's the thing: when I look at places like that, I want to go there. I don't know how. I feel confident enough in my ability to ride on dirt,
right,
to get to that place. It's just the stopping in between that is frightening, because if like, you got here, like, there were several places where it was just like, oh, that's death right there. and there wasn't much left. GoPros do not do a good job of showing scale.
If you guys have watched the video, let me just tell you, I knew it was going to be bad.
Yeah.
And then, because like when I film it, I give everything to Bo, and I don't really look at it until it's like 80% done. And I knew the GoPro was going to make shit look like it was nothing.
Yeah,
and then
it gets rid of scale. It gets rid of the grade of
do you
a
remember
road.
when I walked over to you after watching the first edit, and then I was like, no, there's this one hill that I have to have in there
And I'm
because I
like,
was so
yeah,
proud
that's
of it.
this hill. That's this hill. You're looking at
It
it.
looked flat, and
Yeah.
I was like, because I
Well,
so
that's
this
why
is-
looking. So, spoiler alert, right? The second episode of Adventure Bros, I eat shit.
another situation.
I eat
Yeah.
shit, and we were like, we when we were there looking at this hill, we're like,
we were like, I don't know if we can make it up. that.
it was a fucking substantial hill.
Yeah.
And then you look at the footage, and it was like, it looks like we're on somebody's driveway. Like, it's not serious.
No, it's,
But it
it's so
it is
sad.
so much more. And that one climb that we do, remember that really rocky climb on the shitty kept up road?
Yes.
And we looked at the footage and we're like, that doesn't look.
It looks like we're going flat out straight.
Yeah. So same thing on yours, but but you get a little sense of that with some of their footage.
Yeah.
And some of the drone footage, and
Right.
the 360 footage does a good job.
So if you guys go watch the press release of the DesertX that we put out, I think there's only one section where we did the GoPro raw
Yeah.
stuff, right?
I've started doing that now for all of our press
Well,
releases.
so if you guys go watch the video, look at that section and just know that I was at the base of this hill, and I'll explain why I was in the mentality that I was when I got to it. But I was looking at this hill like, I'm going to go up this hill. I'm not going to not do this while I'm here. I will regret it if I don't.
Yeah.
And I was literally looking at this hill like, I mean, to me, it was straight up, and there were giant rocks the whole way. And I'm looking at it like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it because I'm that physically exhausted.
yeah, because that was the second media run of the day or third?
That was the second media
Second,
run.
yeah.
Yeah. So, and I mean, long story short, if you go watch it, I make it up the hill, but like it was such a big moment for me to be able
Yeah.
to do that because at
I'm
that
saying
point,
you killed it, man.
so that was at like the tippy top of the highest mountain that we had gone to that day.
Yeah.
It was the back half of the day.
It was definitely the most technical area too.
So there's that, but the reason I got so tired, one, we're at like if the highest elevation we got was 11,900, that was the spot.
Yep.
So by that time, I had ran into a bush. I had dropped it going.
To be fair, you plonked into a bush. You weren't going that fast.
Okay, I plonked into a bush.
It was not severe, but it was fucking.
Let me tell you,
hilarious.
in the moment,
You felt like
okay,
you fucking.
so yeah, okay. So if you guys haven't seen the video, I hit a bush. So here's what happened. Kind of to what we were talking about earlier. We had done our first media run, and we were kind of like all chilling, and I knew that I had a moment to get some cameras going. So I take my opportunity, I get my cameras going, and everybody starts leaving, and I'm like, shit, because it's a tight deadline, and I'm over here like trying to get my gloves on. They're dirty and sweaty and shit, and we all know how gloves are. The second you start sweating in a glove,
Carry some baby powder, bud.
I should have. So anyway, I'm sitting there trying to get these like not cold, these wet gloves on. Everybody's leaving. So by the time I get the gloves on, I get the cameras going, I get behind them, I can't see anybody. I can see little bits of dust. And remember, I'm the slowest guy there. Now, there's a guy following me, like a pro guy, because they always have a pro guy in the front, pro guy in the back. That way nobody gets lost. So I didn't think I was going to be like, oh, no, I can't find the group. But I do want to catch up. Like it's helpful to follow people down roads that they've been down before because they know the speeds to go into things.
Yeah.
So I'm going down this road. I've done great so far in the day. I felt really confident, and I'm just going down this dirt road, and it's kind of weaving and stuff like that. Feeling great. We just did all these press runs with the drone and stuff. I am at a high. I feel like I am the bomb. Okay, and I'm
Had you
barely.
at this point gotten comfortable with the bike, or were you still?
I
feeling
felt
it?
super comfortable because we
Okay.
did the media run, and I didn't have nothing happened where I was like, oh shit. So you know how if you go long enough,
Yeah.
you start being like, bro, I might as well be one of the pro riders type thing.
And then you get hit with a humble pie.
Well,
AKA
I got
a
hit.
bush.
I got hit in the face with a humble pie, literally. So I'm trying to catch up to these guys. I'm going a little faster than I should be.
Yeah.
And I was honestly, if I'm going to be super honest with myself, I was going faster than I felt comfortable being.
Yeah.
But you know me, I get some dumb moments, so I wanted to catch up to everybody. And the road's kind of like this, just bumpy and kind of straight. And there comes up this turn, and I've never been down this road. And when you see a turn, you're like, oh, okay, I'm just going to slightly turn. And the closer I got to that turn, I realized it was one of those like, oh, I'm going to be going in the opposite direction type of turns.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that until I got, like, I was already leaning back and everything, and I go to the turn, and when I'm negotiating it, I'm already slowed down a decent amount.
Yeah.
But I get something I noticed that happened to me twice that day is when I'm on dirt, my default do this as a rider stuff fucks with my this is what I know to do off-road stuff.
Yeah. So that's what I was talking about before when it was like you default to the stuff that you have muscle memory for.
Yeah. Well, so that really screwed me up. So anyway, I get into the turn when I realize it's a you're going the other way turn. I can't slow down enough. I can't navigate the turn, and I just run wide and I run straight into a bush.
It's fucking hilarious.
I didn't realize how slow it was until I watched the footage.
Yeah, you weren't.
But let me tell you, in the moment,
it felt like you were going Mach 3.
I thought I was going Mach 3. I was crazy embarrassed because it's been a while since I've gone down, like, you know, knock on wood. And that happened, and that was my first face full of humble pie.
Here's what we'll do. It is time for an ad, so we're going to go to an ad. When we get back, what I want from you is I want you to tell me why this is the bike that you want to get.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. I'm going to talk through my second, like, down, and then we'll go into
We'll get to that later. We'll get to that later. We're going to go to an ad, and then we'll go and talk about the bike itself, and then we'll briefly touch on your maneuver.
What's going on, guys? This episode of Live on Two Wheels is brought to you by Revzilla's RPM membership. What that is basically a membership program that only costs $60 a year, not a month, but a year, and you get a ton of rewards from it. It's kind of like Amazon Prime for Revzilla. So if you're buying a lot of motorcycle gear, especially on Revzilla, this could be really interesting for you. Check out all of the things you get for this. So you're going to get free 2-day shipping and returns. You're going to get 10% off exclusive brands. You're going to get 5% cash back, period. Also, for you first-time members, you're going to get $15 in cash back from the moment you get this membership. It's also going to include early access to sales and phone lines and exclusive events. So if you're somebody that buys a ton of gear and could find a lot of value in this RPM thing, by all means, we'll have a link for you down in the description below. Thank you guys for supporting the show by going to that link. And thank you, Revzilla, for sponsoring this episode.
RPM membership also applies to Cycle Gear and J&P Cycles. There, I updated the ad.
We'll see you guys with the rest of the show. I love that the people watching have no idea that you guys just did a fart battle while the ad was playing.
All right, Chase.
Yes,
yeah, we'll touch on your second incident.
My whoopsie daisy.
A little bit later.
Yeah.
But you came back from this press launch. And the words I think that you exactly used was like, "Oh, there's nothing else." Thus far, there is nothing else. I think you said precisely, "This is the best ADV bike I've ever ridden." So sell me on it.
Okay.
Why is it? Why this and not like the T7 or the Africa Twin or the Pan Am or any of that?
I will only speak to the bikes that I have actually ridden because I don't talk about like bikes that I haven't ridden yet. That wouldn't be fair.
You've ridden an Africa Twin just on road.
I've ridden an Africa Twin on road.
I've ridden Pan Am both.
I've ridden the Aprilia Touareg. I've done the Pan Am. I've done now the DesertX.
My Tiger on road.
I've done your Tiger on road. I've done a KTM 890 Adventure on road. So I've got a decent amount of experience, but I think the more important thing is I've got a lot of feel for what I like and what I don't like.
Right.
And
you
now
mentioned that on the Aprilia, right?
Yes. And now that I've had an entire day with the DesertX, I've got even more experience of what I like and don't like off-road. Got a good experience of what I like on road.
Yeah.
We're not worried about that. Like I'll I don't really care about that. So one of the things, at least in my experience, that I look for with a motorcycle that's off-road is kind of counterintuitive to what I think a lot of people would probably think and say. I like to have some weight. And we talked about this on our Aprilia test drive when we were at Get On ADV Fest. The Aprilia Touareg is probably a phenomenal motorcycle. We only had 30 minutes of experience on it.
You think you said that, like, well, one, you weren't a fan of the traction control, but I think that's was
settings though. Like
I think that was
time.
I think that was a setting thing because I had a fantastic time on it. I thought it was great. I liked it a lot.
Right.
The thing that you said, having been spent like a day and a half on the Pan Am at that point, was it's really floaty.
It didn't have enough weight
to keep me stable and feel connected to the ground.
Well, so I don't want to say stable because like I don't have enough experience to really dictate what I have in stability, but as a rider, I feel better.
You feel the feeling
I
of
personally
stability.
feel better. I feel more stable when I have some weight under me. So the Aprilia Touareg,
the dry weight on the Pan Am,
the dry weight on the
like
Pan Am is
20 or something like that.
We don't have that on. Oh, well, yeah. So the Pan Am weighs in at 534. The Aprilia Touareg weighs in at 449.
Okay.
So
and
there's a
and the Touareg is like what 440.
449 is the weight on the. So the Pan Am's 100 pounds heavier than the Touareg. This is actually fascinating that I'm looking at this.
Yeah, the Touareg
graph.
is heavier.
The Touareg is heavier than the DesertX.
That's funny.
So how does the DesertX feel?
Maybe it's the way it's carried. Now, so I do know that engine has been lightened up, but the frame of the DesertX was entirely designed from the ground up to be off-road.
Yes.
So it could be a combination of...
Well, so just to catch people up, so one of the reasons, like, what we were kind of getting to was when I rode the Touareg, I know these numbers tell me differently, but the Touareg felt really light. It felt like it was kind of floating all over the place, and I didn't feel really stable in it. I didn't love the traction control, but the thing me and Bo were talking about was if I had time with the Touareg, you can dial in those settings.
Yeah, you had it. You had it on like 1.
Yeah, it was the type of thing at ADV Fest was, hey, get on the bike, let's go. It wasn't a, hey, get on the bike, let's ride for a little bit, here's some time, change some settings. It was literally, get on the bike, do a loop, you're done.
I will say this. The Touareg feels much lighter than that because it feels lighter than my bike, and my bike is lighter than the Touareg by like 20 pounds.
Why is the Touareg so heavy then?
I think it carries its weight up high.
So regardless of what it is, the Touareg felt super light. I did not like the way that felt at all, and that's apart from the electronics. So even if I had played with the electronics, that still wouldn't have solved my problem of not really liking how that bike felt as I was carried over off-road. Now, we go to the Pan Am. I love the way the Pan Am felt. Was it heavy when we got into tight stuff and we had to turn around? That's when the weight was like, this is a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
The DesertX, in my opinion, was that perfect balance of it felt heavier than the Touareg, which was a good thing to me.
Yeah.
Apparently it's lighter, but like, okay. I guess the way it carries its weight felt more like the Pan Am.
Yeah.
And that it gave me all of like, ooh, this is what I like, but it was a little bit lighter. I personally like the looks of the DesertX more than I like the Touareg and the Pan Am. I think the DesertX is one of the best looking ADV bikes right now.
I will say this. The Aprilia in person looks 100 times better than any of the photos I've ever seen.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So
the DesertX, I'm still not sold on the headlights. I know that people.
Yeah, that's
like,
fair.
Yeah.
It's the DesertX is definitely a polarizing bike, similar to like the XSR 900. Like you're either gonna like that or you're not. And if you're not, that's totally cool. So another thing about the DesertX I like, and you guys, if you've watched any first rides, you know this. I love Ducati menus. I think Ducati is like on a separate planet when it comes to menus, how they lay out their information. It is one of the things that Ducati leads in my personal opinion. And the screen has all of the normal Ducati stuff. It's super easy to use. The buttons, like we all know, it's a Ducati. It's going to be expensive, and it's going to feel really premium.
Yeah.
The DesertX fits all the Ducati checkboxes, which I don't think Ducati would put a bike out that didn't fit, the Ducati checkbox.
Something that's interesting that maybe at this point people don't know is that this is the first off-road machine they've made since the 70s, and it's been designed from the ground up to be an off-road machine. That engine, the Testastrada V2, only shares its basic, structure with the Monster and the Multistrada. It's had work done to it to lighten it and things like that. The gearing on it is different. The first and second gear are much shorter. The sixth gear is longer.
Yeah.
The frame, the gas, everything has been made ground up. 21-inch front, 18-inch rear.
Yep.
Everything has been designed to be an off-road machine, specifically an off-road machine.
Ducati said that this is the first motorcycle that's ever been designed from the initial point to be an off-road bike. But the crazy thing, though, that's probably true. This bike does not feel like it was not made to go on road, though, because you watch the videos. Like we did this really cool road where it would be off road. We'd go up this mountainy stuff, and then the road would just turn into a paved road, which I was like, how the fuck did you find that, for one? But secondly, it really drilled into my head how great this bike is, because the second you leave off road, it takes 2 seconds. 2 button hits, and I'm in touring mode, or I could have been in sport mode, and suddenly I'm set up for that. And guys, literally, I'm pretty sure it got into the video, but we go from this technical off-road stuff to hauling ass sweepers. And the bike was when we got to the road part, I was being slowed down. I'd have been okay to rail that thing.
Yeah,
it feels so good.
You switched over on the fly.
On the fly, yeah.
So that's the thing. If we're doing the 5 things I hate about my bike, it is one of the things is going into the off-road mode.
You're talking about your personal Tiger 900.
Tiger 900. I have to stop the bike in order to put it in off-road to change the ABS settings.
Right. So this was I loved the most, and obviously it's a
tech package package on the DesertX is impressive, but I think the mechanical things were the thing that I took from this that were very impressive. For
like what?
So 9 inches of ground clearance.
Yep.
9 inches of travel in the front suspension. It was 8 and some change on the rear.
Yep.
I mean, people were sending these off of jumps. You were sending them off jumps.
Yeah.
And no offense, you're not a light boy. In it,
I would argue I'm a quite hefty boy at this point.
And this is an Italian bike, and it's probably sprung for an Italian-sized man, a European-sized man. And I didn't see you bottom out once. I didn't hear through your GoPro the bottoming out.
I wish I could tell you guys if I bottomed out, but there were so many things I was having to focus on.
I mean,
that was not
again, that's the mechanical advantage of designing something to be off-road is, what does it say on his hat? Original Motul. We got sent a giant care package from Motul because we loved them.
Yep.
And I've got their raincoat that I'm going to be wearing.
You can see the Motul raincoat.
Yeah. But that to me is impressive because you're thinking about I think if you're going to the 21-inch front and the 18-inch rear means that you can get more dirt-focused tires on
right.
That's a smart design. The factory offered aluminum handguards and upgraded skid plate, actual skid plate, and not the kind of dinky metal stuff they sometimes get.
Bro, I was knocking on that skid plate. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
No, I looked up close, in the footage, and I'm like, oh no, that's a hefty boy. That's like a 3-4 mil thick, skid plate. What you would buy, what I have on my Tiger now.
Yeah, which was a aftermarket type thing. Yeah.
The crash bars looked good, better than most factory offered crash bars. Those kind of things are important to think about if you're offering something that is designed to be off-road. We in this industry have heard the sales pitch from many different manufacturers. When they do the presentations on these bikes, they like to use a lot of the marketing stuff, and they're like, oh, it's being designed to be blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. When you get on it, it's a different story. But when you look at these cues, that at least means to me that it's closer to what they're saying than other brands have been or other bikes from them have been. It is truly a design that is clearly taking off-road riding into account.
Well, so
and it shows from professionals to novices.
Yes, absolutely. One of the interesting things I realized or found out about the Desert X is this is an industry, the ADV space, where the norm is offer a base model for cheap.
Yeah.
And then you can upgrade your thing to be what it is. Like specifically with the Tiger 900, you're just a Tiger 900 Rally, not a Rally Pro, which would have given you more electronics.
It would have given me a customizable ride mode and the off-road Pro mode.
Okay, so that's one example. There's the examples over at KTM, BMW specifically.
Yeah.
The Desert X is the only one. There's one color and there's one model.
That's smart.
There's nothing else.
That's smart.
You get the whole thing, and having been a rider on it, with the two rider modes, you have Rally and then you have Enduro. Rally is like, hey, I know what I'm doing. Enduro is like, that's cute that you're here off road. You need to stay in Enduro. Yeah. I was Enduro the whole time.
Your Enduro mode is like my off-road mode, save for the power mode.
Right.
That's the only difference. It's like the ABS and the traction control are a little bit more involved.
I will say,
but the Enduro mode does put it in low power mode.
It does, and the Ducati DesertX, every mode, fully customizable.
Yeah, and it's really cool. They have an ABS switch.
Yes.
It's a physical switch for ABS, so no matter what mode you are in, you can hit the switch and turn ABS off. And they have true off-road, so it's one of the things I like about the Tiger, right? And the Pan Am is their off-road ABS is off-road ABS, meaning that it'll let the ABS cycle a few times, and then let it slide. Because what can happen is say you're going down a hill, and you're on loose shit, and the ABS engages. If it cycles the ABS, it can get into an infinite cycling loop, and you won't slow down.
Oh, so this reminds me. I wasn't rolling during this, I don't think, but there was one time where one thing happened the entire day that I felt like I can actually tell the Pan Am had better ABS. I was going down a really steep situation, and it was during one of the press media runs, right? So like we're all going in this loop, but they had us do this loop and then a loop back situation.
Yeah.
And as we all know, I'm very not comfortable doing what I'm doing, and when I'm having to go down a very steep embankment and I have to go slowly, so I'm going down as slow as I can. And one of the other journalists was coming up because we were having to go down this little path thing, and I had to slam on brakes. I shouldn't have slammed on brakes, but like I got scared that I was going to hit somebody, and I slammed on brakes. And I did that on the Pan Am one time, and you guys will see in Adventure Bros episode 2, if the Pan Am didn't have as good ABS as it does, and it's incredible, I would have fallen down a 10-foot drop, like a sheer drop.
Yeah.
We were looking at that at the Insta360 footage the other day. I thought I was close. When we looked at the Insta360 footage, I was legitimately like 4 feet from falling off.
Is the ABS on the Desert X, does it have levels, or is it just on and off?
I'm trying to remember. I'm not sure.
Because what it sounds like you're describing is exactly what I'm talking about, which is off-road ABS.
Well, yeah, what happened was I tensed up. I tried to brake, and the ABS was slowing me down a little bit, but I was not slowing down like I needed to, and it was terrifying.
That to me,
nothing happened.
Exactly it sounds exactly like what I'm talking about, which is off-road ABS is supposed to do that. That's the way it's supposed to do. Now you can get in a situation. The Pan Am has it too, but I think it's less. I think it's actually more intrusive, and that's why it stopped you like it did.
Oh, okay.
But the last thing you want to do on a decline on like low traction environment is have the ABS think like, oh, okay, I'll just keep cycling, because eventually what happens is it'll cycle and then realize you're still sliding, cycle, still sliding, cycle, and then you just have no braking whatsoever,
Oh,
and
Jesus.
you'll just roll. And that's a problem with ABS off-road,
Well, so,
which is
like-
like a lot of the guys tell you, like, oh, I don't want ABS off-road. No, ABS off-road is great. It's fantastic if it's been designed to be off-road, because then it does its job.
Well, so like
I'm
clearly
wondering
it
if-
worked because I didn't
yeah.
hit the dude.
I'm
So-
wondering if theirs is adjustable, though.
Yeah, I mean, knowing them and seeing the
Yeah.
bike, I'm sure everything is adjustable. And one of the things I learned after that, because after that happened, I went to talk to one of the pro guys, and I was explaining what had happened. And he recommended to me, he said, do you know what gear you were in? And I think I was in second because of the route to get to where that thing is. I was in second gear for whatever reason. He told me that that's a hill that I need to be in first gear on. I went down that hill in first gear so that the engine braking was working better for me. Didn't have that problem. So
Yeah.
I do want to make it clear. It was user error.
There are
but,
3 levels, according to Ghost.
Oh, okay, cool. So I probably had it in the wrong level. I was in the wrong gear. But that was a situation that happened to me with the Pan Am too,
Yeah.
and the Pan Am seemed to stop better. So I don't know. There's so many different.
My hat hit.
that was funny. There's so many factors that could go into changing that, like the ground type, the Pan Am being
You were on
heavier.
a lot looser, drier.
I
stuff
imagine it
there,
was
too.
way drier, way looser. So it felt like in that moment that the Pan Am's ABS was better. It would really take being with the same bike in the same environment.
You've,
But that's just one of the things that it felt like.
In this, I don't know why I just thought about this, but you've ridden another V2 of that Testastrada, right?
I've ridden the Monster, and I have not ridden the V2 Multi yet.
How do you? Okay, I mean it's the same engine mostly as the Monster with the new Testastrada V2.
Yes.
How does it compare, both like performance and like sound?
So when I rode the Monster, I was not that big of a fan.
Really?
Yeah, like, and I've ridden every Monster. Not every Monster, but like I've ridden a lot of Monsters before.
Yeah.
And I was not a huge fan of the Testastrada in that Monster. It felt, I think, maybe a little underpowered, but maybe that's because I've ridden, a bigger Monster before.
Yeah.
But the DesertX is one of those situations, kind of like we were talking about with the Pan Am, of does this power plant feel best here?
Yeah.
The DesertX felt dialed. Like it felt like that motor should have been there. It interestingly
To clarify for people who don't know, because that's an internal conversation that we've had publicly.
Oh, we haven't had that on the show?
We've talked about it a little bit, but I haven't mentioned it in passing. But when I rode the Pan Am, you had ridden the Sportster S.
Yep.
And I was like,
which have a similar power plant.
yeah, it's the same power plant, just
Slightly modified.
tuned differently. But I said to you that I feel like they're both great bikes, but I feel like the Rev Max belongs in the Pan Am. And then you get to ride the Pan Am for a couple of days, and you were like, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where the power plant sometimes, it almost feels like a swing and a miss when you feel it like you would have totally passed on it and been like, whatever. And because of your experience in the Monster, you're like, it's all right, I guess. It just didn't sing to me. And then you ride this bike and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was
felt
waiting for this bike.
amazing. Yeah, it was just waiting. Yeah, it's super interesting that a power plant in the right platform is entirely different. The really cool thing about the DesertX, like if you guys have seen our Aprilia test ride, Aprilia has that induction sound thing going on when you're really honking on it. The DesertX has that same sound, and
I love the induction sound.
It's
dude.
so good.
Yeah, I heard a little bit through your GoPro.
It was mostly when we were doing on road because I could really I felt comfortable enough to really push it. But yeah, when you get into that power band, you get that type of situation.
The induction sound is nice. Yeah. I mean, the electronics aside, I do like the cockpit
of the DesertX.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job with that. I like the idea of going vertical with the dash instead of horizontal.
Super neat. Yeah. And
so I'll ask you because you're not one of their marketing guys.
Yeah.
They said it's so that it can be easily read up and down while you're sitting or standing.
Yeah.
How did it fare? Standing specifically.
Yeah, because like we all know it's going to look good sitting
yeah.
because it's directly in front of you.
Yeah.
I had no problems when I glanced down. I was able to see all the information I needed to see. I was watching the video back, and I guess the GoPro being at a different angle than my eyesight, it looked hard to read with the GoPro.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Like when I'm in the video, I look down and I can see it totally fine.
Yeah.
So that was kind of strange that the GoPro, it looked like blacked out.
Yeah. That's why I was asking.
That might have been the ND filter that was on the GoPro.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Polarized, right? Yeah.
That's actually, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, because, like, again, when we go to these things, like sausages made, they do a lot of buzzwords and marketing spiel and blah, blah, blah.
That's marketing people.
Yeah, that's their job is to, hype up the bike and whatnot. And the actuality is it's either somewhere in between what they say and bullshit. It's somewhere in between there, or it's pretty close to what they say. But you can tell they're spin doctoring it a little bit and trying to like hype it up. For the most part, when I hear stuff and they're talking about it, I'm like, okay, we'll see how that works. And it's close. It's them just telling you what that thing does and giving a couple more buzzwords to make it sound cooler than it actually is. But I saw, I think it was TFL Bike's intro video for the DesertX where they were talking to one of the designers. Mm-hmm. And then, you had good B-roll that they filmed with their dash and all that and stuff to show it. And I was like, okay, I could see that. But then I watched the footage from us, and I was like, well, I can't see shit.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, is this just a gimmick, or does that actually function standing up? I have no problem on my bike, my Tiger, seeing it standing up.
I will say, I don't know if it being vertically oriented helped at all. Yeah. But all I can say is never throughout the day was I like, man, I really wish I could see the dash better.
Yeah. Well, because some of the things they've done, it's like clearly a design choice. The asymmetrical tank.
That's so freaking cool though when I see the footage though.
But then you see that and you see them talk about a vertical dash and you're like, okay, well, clearly you want it to look like a rally tower, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
It definitely has a Dakar vibe, and I know from seeing interviews with the designers that they styled it off of those style of like Dakar styles, and their other off-road offerings back in the 70s and stuff like that, and other bikes of that era. Yeah, with the circular headlights and instead of old lamps, it's DRLs, but it's still the vibe is very Dakar, which
cool
you and I know. It's like one of our favorites. That's like we talk about all the time. It's probably we like the T7. We still need to get you on a T7.
We are going to get me on a T7.
The analog version of what you experience,
right?
Because
Yamaha's already told us we can have a T7 when we want, but I chose that we needed to get the XSR 900 in here for a little while before we do the T7. Yeah, but it also gives us time for it to get a little cooler because right now it's so fucking hot when we go out here. And if we were doing more ADV content now,
the last couple of days, just because it's been rainy,
it's
been real nice because it's been like 72 when I leave.
But it's
house.
Also hard to breathe because it's so damn wet outside.
Yeah.
Moisture.
Well, okay, so let's put a bow on this. Hey, before we do that though, you want to talk about your second whoopsie?
So my second whoopsie on the DesertX was...
It looked a lot like my first whoopsie on the Pan Am.
It did, yeah. So it was the second half of the day. I had already ran into the bush, and I found out at that highest elevation point, I was talking to the photography guys, and I was talking to the pro rider guys, and I was trying to sponge any information I could, because I'm like... Yeah. I got to the top of this median run. I was telling the guys when, I think it was the next day that I had gotten home. I am a camera and filming guy. The very top media run, we stayed there for a while. Yeah. I was so tired at that point.
You bowed out.
I did not. I did, I think, 2 runs around.
Yeah.
And if you guys know me to any level, you know that it takes a lot for me to get to that.
You did so few runs that they accidentally sent one of Case's runs on back to us.
Well, so that's how tired I was, and I was trying to glean any information I could, and I was just so exhausted at that point because I was riding incorrectly the whole day. Like, and we've gone through like, oh, this is how you ride off road.
Well, it was nice to hear you verbalize like, oh, I'm putting too much weight on my arms. I'm getting arm pumped like crazy.
So what the thing that fucked me up really bad was I know to lean forward on the bike and hold your weight with your legs. But when you're doing that like this, it's one thing. When you're having to do that and you're at an angle like this, I was talking to the guys and they're like, your balls need to be on the top of the gas tank.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you know, guys, if you want more information about that, we did a 5 things that you should know about.
Yeah.
Where we talked exactly about shifting your weight.
Well, no, they're shifting your weight. I was leaning forward, but the bike was going at such a high angle that I wasn't leaning forward enough.
Yeah.
And then when I would give it gas to get up the things, I'm not leaning forward enough, so I'm being thrown back on the motorcycle. I have to grab with my handlebars so I don't fall off the back of the thing. So I was absolutely exhausted. But the thing that really kicked my ass, and this is before I got to the top of that giant hill, that hill started in downtown Aspen. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you watched through all the GoPro footage, but bro, it's literally up, you turn up, you turn up. There's no brakes.
Yeah.
Ever. So by the time I got near to the top, and it's all like super sandy, just kind of washy shit. So it's that at a harsh angle after I've been riding all day at elevation. So it's like it's thing on top of thing. And I got to this one turn. I was in second gear. I tried to shift into first and get some more torque behind it so I could make it around the little turn.
Do you want to watch the footage? Because there was a number 1 on that dash the entire time.
On the entire time?
Yes. You were in first the entire time.
Oh, God. Is it a GoPro shot?
Yeah. You just, here's what happened watching it.
You talk, and I'm going to try to pull it up on the screen.
Here's what happened watching it.
I will say that nothing I thought happened when I watched the GoPro footage.
You lost momentum horribly through that turn, and that's all it was. And so then when you stopped, that's the reason you stopped and stalled, is because you lost all your momentum, and then you had your whoopsie. So when you were carrying, you went to you dump your clutch into the turn, and then as you're pulling out of the turn, you pulled in your clutch to shift, but you were already in gear.
Right.
In first gear.
Oh wow, what a perfect.
Wait. Let me show this. I just want to see. I want everybody to see. Womp womp.
All right, guys. So we're gonna watch through this, and I will say I thought I understood what happened, and then when I watched the GoPro footage, I was like, I don't remember any of that.
That's
so
fucking hilarious.
But that was.
Hey, notice how those levers are intact?
I do.
No, you went too far.
No. We're gonna play up into the thing.
Is that case?
Yep. So this is Chase being exhausted.
TFL Bike. In front of you.
Yeah, those guys are great. Everybody that we've met from TFL Bike have been phenomenal dudes. All right, so this is my second whoopsie. It was my last whoopsie of the day, and I just want you guys to know coming into this, I was physically done.
Yeah.
So just.
You were already in first. You just weren't carrying enough. Yes, you were. Trust me.
I don't think I was in first.
You were in first the entire time.
No,
bud.
you're seeing the number 1 on the bike, though.
Yes, that's where the gear indicator is, because when I watched Case's video, he was in 4th and 5th on the long straights for most of it.
You can't even see.
Yeah. You were in first from the beginning of the turn throughout here, but if you just play...
a second, right here. You can see it.
No, that's a number 1.
Bo, that is a number 2. Right here is the gear.
What is that number that's below it?
That is the number bike that I was on. I was on the bike number 1. I'm in second gear right here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I knew. I was in second gear.
I thought that was the gear indicator in there.
No. Okay, so I'm in second gear right.
Yeah, that's fair.
There you go, Ghost. Okay.
There's fair.
Okay, so
let's see if you stay in second.
I imagine I shifted into first around here because I'm like, oh, this is a bigger thing. Yeah, because I'm like, you can hear it about to stall.
No, you're still in second.
I'm still in second. Okay, so then I try to go to first, and as I go to first, I stall. Okay, so I didn't fall over yet. Here's the nutty part. I thought that I went into first and fell, but
No, you did not.
No, I did not.
No, you pulled a me, is what you're about to pull.
So
This is my move. How dare you?
I just want you guys to know, look, the bike's not falling. I'm going to regain control, compose myself, and then drop it. So here we go.
This is fucking hilarious.
All right, I got the bike cranked up again. I'm trying to get up it. And it's just, so my foot hits the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's like hard shit with like silty sand on top. So my foot touches the ground to like grab the
God, I
weight,
would have loved,
and it just goes.
I would have loved to ninja roll on this rather than what I rolled on.
All right, so I'm gonna play this whole thing and not interrupt it, so you guys can see the whole thing.
This is fucking hilarious. Here you guys.
Oh no. All right.
Whoa.
Shit.
And this guy's probably like, this fucking goob.
This is the second time.
That's fine.
I forget the guy's name, but he's such a good dude.
Speed 87 has said what I said before, and this is what I have to keep reminding myself, because I got angry mostly because I was so hot in South Dakota. But I have to remember that this is just part of it. This is just part of it. It's why.
But the thing is, though, when you go from not,
I
that's
think we're so
hardwired that dropping a bike is bad, right? But like, this is just part of it. Somebody made a joke the other day. You know why ADV riders always ride in groups?
Oh, I saw that, so they can help each other pick their bikes.
Yeah,
I love that, though.
And it's like, this is just part of it, and I have to keep reminding myself of that.
Right.
I basically told the Pan Am to fuck off. But to be fair, I also had to do a fucking ninja roll off of a mountain.
You did.
So it's like, I have to keep reminding
Adventure
myself.
Bros episode 2. When you guys see that video drop, click on it as fast as possible.
Should I leave my next drop in? Because that's the whole thing.
100%.
But it's like, you have to keep reminding yourself that like, it's just part of it. Shit happens. It's fucking low traction.
I would like to say the DesertX that I was on, the only one that went down. Oh no, a couple others went down, but whatever. Mine had no damage.
Yeah.
From either of my little downs.
They look like substantial bars. Like I like that they offered really good protection from the factory. That's important, because a lot of them don't do that.
Especially with it being one of the more expensive bikes in the category.
So the real question here, Chase, money on the table.
Yeah.
What you doing?
Currently, right now, if I guess we'll put ourselves in a situation where if every one of the companies that we have on the screen right now came to me and was like,
let me show that to people.
Can you, does that fit on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the Ducati DesertX, we've got the Yamaha T7, Aprilia Touareg 660, Pan Am, Tiger 900, BMW F850 GS Adventure, and 890 Adventure R from KTM. Yeah. If every one of these companies was like, hey, we want to give you our bike, but you have to sign an agreement that says you can't have any of the other ones. Yeah, I'm going DesertX, 100%.
Wow.
That being said, okay, so here's what I can say for sure.
Yeah.
I've got experience with riding the DesertX, Touareg 660, and Pan Am. The Pan Am's a great bike.
And the Tiger.
And the Tiger. Tiger's a great bike. You seem to absolutely love that motorcycle. There's no way I'd pick the Tiger. Touareg's not even a thought for me right now. I haven't ridden the T7, so I'm not going to throw that out.
Yeah.
But so honestly, right now for me, between the DesertX and the Pan Am,
you haven't ridden the 850 GSA.
I have not.
Have you not ridden the 890 Adventure R?
I've ridden the 890 Adventure, not the R though.
Okay.
But like, I just don't. I think that is probably the penultimate ADV rider's bike that knows
like
what
off-road
they're doing.
Rider. Yeah.
I'm just not even close to that. But with the DesertX, I felt comfortable. I didn't feel like it was overweighted, and I don't think that Pan Am's overweighted, but it's a heavy bike.
It definitely shows its weight in slower situations.
That, and I don't think I know what to do with 150 horsepower.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, you know, we talk about balance a lot in first rides.
Yeah.
The Pan Am's too much power for what I want to do with it. Even on road, when we were kind of going through Spearfish and stuff, there's no need for that much power.
Yeah, we were honking on it. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is not good.
Yeah, there's no need for this. I think as far as power, weight, electronics, the DesertX has got its own little
okay, so
circle
to be
in its
clear,
inside.
it did a good job of hiding the mistakes and the newness of you as a rider.
Phenomenal job of that. Yeah.
But again, you did a really, really good job, and you were full send, and I was proud of you.
I appreciate that. I've never been so exhausted from riding a motorcycle. I will say that.
Your OGO bag stunk to high heaven.
Oh, well, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean this thing?
Yeah. Yeah,
was-
you need to clean that before we use it again.
I should
That's supposed to be somebody's going to a press event, and now it smells like
That's true. I'm so sorry.
the inside of your thighs.
Thank you. Oh, nope, not going to do that. I was going to say these thighs, but I don't want that on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, the DesertX does. So the cool thing about the DesertX, though.
5 minutes.
Okay. I'll make it short.
Yeah.
The DesertX, it provided a really good environment for me being an absolute idiot and covering up all my mistakes, which is the point I'm at as far as ADV riding.
Yeah.
But it also, I felt like I was playing a video game and I got a map and it showed me that you can get all the way to here with this map. You can get to the point where you're doing nutsy shit. And you can do it all from this one motorcycle. I feel like if I got a DesertX, it would be a phenomenal bike now, and it would be a phenomenal bike for years that I could... It's really a platform that I could grow into.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I took away from the entire video, honestly, was I rode all day. Got my ass
Ducati,
kicked.
you know what to do.
Yes, Ducati, you know what to do. Get your boy DesertX. Give me some time on it.
Yamaha, get that T7 in here so we can.
Oh, that would be
add
a
it to the list.
phenomenal freaking comparison. If we got
Also,
a loaner
BMW,
DesertX,
if you're listening, the 50 GSA.
bro,
I mean,
BMW is gonna be the last company to talk with us. Them and Aprilia. So I don't see them talking to us.
Which is a shame because
They got
unlike
phenomenal
you,
bikes. Yeah.
the Touareg 660 is a phenomenal bike.
Listen, I would love any communication with any motorcycle.
Go to
manufacturer.
Discord. Go to Discord. Go to
Okay.
Discord.
Go into Discord.
I'm curious as to what today
All
is
that being
look
said,
like.
I love the DesertX. It's my absolute favorite ADV bike, and I can't wait to ride it more.
Move
or ride
your
others more.
Discord a little bit to the. Yeah, there you go.
All right, guys. So last couple minutes, we're gonna rock through Discord real quick. If you guys have any
SMORECon
questions,
this weekend.
we have a SMORECon this weekend. If you guys have any questions about this video, drop them in the comments on the Live on Two Wheels video, and we'll go through those. We'll answer them if we didn't hit anything you guys were curious about.
Yeah.
All right, next up. Hey, it's me. When you chicken out of going to SMORECon, I'm shooting 2 weddings this weekend, okay? That were planned for years ago. All right, I wish I chickened out. It is far more business than that. Friggin' Mark, don't tell me you can't afford a Ducati. Sell your organs and go buy that damn
That is
thing.
one of my favorite pictures I've ever seen.
Oh God, I can't afford a Ducati, but God, I wish I could. Ghost is fast AF.
Yeah,
Little
it is.
road runner, love it. Rumor has it, Ghost can wheelie. Ghost, can you wheelie?
That the joke is that there's nobody on that bike.
Oh, God, man.
Go to the next
I'm
slide.
just gonna go to the next one.
Same, but different.
Same.
Look at the back of the ear.
This is great. This bow, that's hilarious. The funny thing is, the DesertX could probably handle that and still do the same thing.
Yeah.
That's actually funny. When you're scared to hang out with the cool kids at SMORECon, Nashville, SMORECon, and Bokie.
Yeah. Hey,
Where did? Oh, that was the photo you took earlier. Fuck you, Bo. Is that why you took that?
Fuck yeah, it is.
Oh my God.
Say it out loud.
No.
Say it out loud, fucker.
No.
Do it. Say it. What does it say? Read
I
it. You have
can't.
to read it. The people are listening.
Nope. People listening can go watch the episode. Wait, what is
Oh.
this? Hey, CLX 700. That's
Nice.
awesome. The sport model.
Yeah.
I love seeing these in person.
Yeah, that's dope.
Bro, the camera car footage of that bike. That's the bike we're going to be riding tomorrow in the first try, guys.
Yep.
Very cool. Oh, so you don't like motorcycles.
Fucking Nerf gun.
Jesus. What the hell?
When the
When the boy The boys enter the party. Wait, I don't understand.
Can you guys hear my fan?
Wait, so is it Bo's fan and me sniffing?
I think so. But my fan's not even pointing towards it.
That's hilarious.
That's hilarious indeed.
When someone shows you Andy Ugooni's YouTube channel, so you sub because he's smart.
Smart.
That's Jake. Shout out to Jake the Garden Snake. Buddy of the channel. Chase might be scared, but I'm not. I'm going to SmartCon.
Hell yeah.
Wait, is that also Jake? That kind of looks like Jake.
A little bit. It's a white guy with a beard.
I mean, yeah.
Next.
It's also on a Pan Am. More Jake. Hey Chase, not going to Nashville isn't smart. This is true. It's an unsmart thing to do.
It is a very unsmart thing to do.
So there was this bush. Bo, bush, same thing.
That's fucking hilarious.
That is funny. Oh God. SmartCon Airway.
Yes.
I love. Wow, bro! Look at the
mullet.
at the mullet that I have.
Nice.
Oh, that's great. Oh God.
Do you like dags? Oh, dogs. Right, I like dogs.
Wait, who is that? Is that Andy?
No, it looks like Jake. Just Jake.
So
Spike,
much
isn't it?
Jake stuff here.
I think, yeah.
Did Jake infiltrate SmartCon?
I don't know.
When Chase rips the ADV through the twisties at SmartCon, but Chase T, not Chase on two wheels because he's scared. I'm seeing a pattern here.
So Chase T is Andy Ugooni's cousin.
Oh.
And he's the guy who's telling you about who's just like
Does off-road
documenting all of his off-road stuff on an NX 700 or an N700X or whatever. Just riding a monster.
This is pretty great,
That's
Ghost.
fucking hilarious.
I kind of love that. I'm not going to
That's
lie.
fucking hilarious.
Let's put a bow on it. Yeah, that's...
It's so tiny.
It's a tiny bow. That'd be a giant T7. That'd be like a
Or else-
T15.
Yeah, T700. Like actually.
This is putting a bow on it.
Fucking hilarious.
Nice job, friggin' Mark. That's great.
That is good.
That's absolute. Oh God, more of this. You your dislike of dad jokes is pissing me
I don't dislike
off.
the dad jokes. I dislike how much he's into them.
Yeah, you always don't like how much I'm
Hey,
into them.
tomorrow, today's my Friday.
Today is your Friday, bud.
Because tomorrow I'm coming back up to the shop, but not for work.
Yeah. So, Bo, you have a minute. Take us out on all the SmartCon information.
All right. So, Ghost, who all's meeting? Is it just me and you here tomorrow?
Yanto's coming up too.
Yanto's coming up too. So, not Trey, me, and Ghost are gonna be meeting up here. Trey, unfortunately, isn't gonna be able to make it, so it'll be the three of us heading up to Calhoun. You can only imagine what we're gonna do in Calhoun. We are then meeting up with several other people to go up to Nashville. Franklin specifically, I think is where the Airbnb is. Do we have a head count for how many people are going to be there?
About 9 or 10.
9 or 10 people in this Airbnb. It's going to be...
There's going to be 9 or 10 of you guys in one Airbnb?
Well, okay, they'll be in the Airbnb.
Oh, yeah, please tell the people what your ass is doing, Bo.
I'm going in the Wayback Machine to like 5 to 8 year old Bo, and I've got all this new gear that I want to test before I actually go camping, because that's what you should do. If you get new camping gear and you're
How are you going to test this gear, Bo?
Let me finish what I'm saying. So, what you should do when you get new camping gear is test it all out, make sure it all works, make sure now pack it, unpack it, set it up, all that jazz. So you're not doing that while you're out there camping. So when we get to the Airbnb, I am putting all my stuff in the lawn, and I will be camping out like an 8-year-old in the backyard of this Airbnb.
Bo has got his Tiger 900 fully loaded.
Yep.
He's going to ride it to Nashville, Tennessee.
I've got my Kriega OS panniers, and they still got room.
He is going
I've
to
got
ride
everything in there
5
right now.
hours north and go in the backyard of an Airbnb and pitch a tent.
Yeah. I've got all my stuff. I got my Jetboil and make my coffee.
So I have told Bo he needs to film his shenanigans, and we need to have a premiere of his time at SmartCon. It'll go up on his channel.
Yeah.
But we're gonna premiere it next week on Live on Two Wheels.
Yeah, should be.
Next week, we will see you guys with the recap of SmartCon 2022. I'm excited. I will specifically not watch Bo's video until we premiere it live on the show next week. It's going to be a good time. I can't wait to laugh. I hope you guys have a phenomenal weekend. If you're going to SmartCon, shout out, tag me on Instagram so I can see all the cool photos of the good time you guys are having. And we will see you guys next Thursday, 4:30 Eastern Standard Time, PM, not in the morning. Poots.
Bye. Yeah.